Hello everyone. Today's video is going to be another response video. The one I'll be responding to is a video that I recall seeing ages ago. It's very short, but there's a lot of crap crammed into that space, so let's get started.
How to care for tarantulas. Hello and welcome to Video Jug. We've come to Amy Zoo to show how to keep and care for tarantula spiders. This film has been prepared with the advice and expertise of Mark Amy, who has been caring for exotic pets for 34 years.
Ooh, he's wearing khaki and has a snake around his shoulders. He must be an expert. Okay, but in all seriousness, I can't be the only one who thinks that being an animal expert on the internet is basically just a game of dress-up. Coyote Peterson, I am looking at you.
Tarantulas are interesting creatures and generally docile.
Yeah, about that. Many of the old world tarantulas, especially some of the African and Asian species, have temperaments that'd probably make funnel web spiders seem tame. I don't want to fearmonger, but let's get real. Some tarantulas are nowhere near as friendly as many people think they are.
Chilean rose tarantulas make the best pets as they are ground dwellers and the least aggressive.
You can't really generalize an entire species like that. Even within a species, there can be some pretty profound difference in temperament between individuals. So while you can say that, on average, something like a Brachypelma will be more laid back than, say, Heteroscodra maculata, you can't firmly say that species A is the least aggressive or the most aggressive. And as far as Grammostola rosea goes, which is the species in this video, it is quite well known that there are some pretty temperamental individuals out there.
Tarantulas can grow up to 15 centimeters.
No, there are much bigger tarantulas out there than that. The three Theraphosa species are the most obvious ones here, but also genus Pampabetius, Acanthoscuria, Lasiodora. Look, I could go on forever. There are a lot of tarantulas that get bigger than this.
And live for 3 to 5 years.
Okay. Either the guy who's written the advice for this video has only ever kept male tarantulas for some reason, or his spiders are living less than a quarter of their usual lifespans, which would say everything we'd need to know about his care.
Install a heat mat and a thermostat at the back of the tank to keep the temperature at 25 degrees.
In most cases, heat mats are unnecessary at best and downright dangerous for the spider at worst. Now, granted, he did put the heat mat on the side, which isn't quite as bad. The real issue is when the heat mat is placed underneath the enclosure. You see, tarantulas will instinctively burrow down in order to escape heat. But with the source of the heat at the bottom of the enclosure, a tarantula's burrowing will put it closer and closer to the heat mat, essentially causing the spider to cook itself. It's a case of being killed by one's own instincts.
Also fit a thermometer to check the temperature.
Completely unnecessary. Tarantulas are not corals. They're not going to just drop dead if the temperature changes by 1 or 2 degrees.
The tank itself should measure about 30 centimeters by 20 by 10.
Bit of self-contradiction there, seeing as the tank in the video does not appear to match those dimensions whatsoever.
The floor should be covered with a thick layer of substrate such as cocoa fibre, which should be kept moist.
The level of moisture required in the substrate, if any is required at all, is heavily dependent on species. Many tarantulas come from arid habitats and do best on substrate that's pretty much bone dry. One species that comes to mind is Chromatopelma cyanopubescens, I hope I pronounced that one right, which previously exhibited a rather high mortality in captivity due to keepers mistakenly keeping them in moist setups.
Use silica gel or soak cotton wool in bottled water and place it in a small dish for the spider to drink from.
Oh boy. I really feel like the people behind this video must have scoured YouTube for every crappy tarantula care guide in existence and thought, hey fellas, you know what? Let's gather every one of their mistakes and put them all together. Seriously. Okay, so cotton wool balls or silica gel or sponges, unnecessary at best and a breeding ground for bacteria at worst. Just use an upturned bottle cap and fill it with water. A tarantula is not going to drown in a small dish that's 1/3 of its size.
Humidity should be 60 to 70%, which can be checked with a hydrometer.
Tarantulas live on the substrate. The humidity of the air in the enclosure above means absolutely bugger all. Moisture level in substrate is the only thing you really need to pay attention to. And like I said, that varies with species.
It's not advisable to handle your tarantula as you may be allergic to its bite.
Well, I agree with the no handling bit, just not what came after. Somehow, even when they're right, they manage to be wrong. Allergic reactions to bites by tarantulas, or spiders in general for that matter, are pretty much completely unheard of. And really, when it comes to handling, the biggest risk is not for you, but for the tarantula. Especially a heavy-bodied terrestrial species, which pretty much all the beginner tarantulas are. If they fall onto a hard surface from even a short distance, they can very easily die. This isn't really care-related at all, but would it have killed them to film even a couple more minutes worth of footage? That way they don't have to loop the same few frames 50 times?
Step 5. Cleaning. Tarantulas don't make much mess, but you should change the substrate and clean and disinfect the tank every 3 or 4 months.
The only time a complete enclosure change is warranted is when something really anomalous happens. Like, for example, a huge mold outbreak that's spread through all the substrate or something like that. Otherwise, the only cleaning you'll ever need to do for your tarantula is basically spot cleaning. So any food leftovers or little clumps of mold, just pick them out when you see them. Cleaning out the entire enclosure like this is doing nothing more than causing some unnecessary stress to your tarantula. Basically, you'll just be destroying the spider's home for no real reason at all.
Using an arachnid-friendly disinfectant.
What the hell is an arachnid-friendly disinfectant? 1, does it even exist? And 2, how am I supposed to know? Like, I can't really say I pay attention to it, but I've never gone shopping and seen disinfectants with, I don't know, a picture of a smiling spider captioned with "Certified Arachnid Friendly for your 8-legged housemates." This is just one of the most ludicrous things I've ever seen in a tarantula care video. What next? Spray down your house with bug-friendly insect repellent? What? They even had a researcher? Well, it's definitely one of those people who, does their own research. Anyway, that is the end of this video. It was quite a short one, well, the original video was anyway, but my god, I feel like they were making a conscious effort to cram as much bullshit as they could into a short space of time. I gotta say, I think my reaction videos are the main reason I decided to monetize my channel, because I think I deserve to get paid for sitting through this bullshit on a regular basis. Anyway, if you enjoyed watching me get frustrated and pissed off, then feel free to check out some of my other uploads, and don't forget to subscribe as well. Thank you very much for watching, that is it from me, and I shall see you again very soon.